Hello, hello. Welcome everybody to the channel. I am once again your host, Old Shaman, back again with another video for you all. So what better way to start the 2019 year than to start it off with a manga haul. And this will be my first video of the year, so I hope you guys will enjoy. I plan to have a few more videos released this year, not only just with manga hauls, but also with reviews and a few other tag videos as well, just in case I do decide to do one of those. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Got a lot to talk about today. So first things first, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist stopped at volume 13. I now own volumes 14 all the way to 24. That is complete of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist. Really good series. I think that is probably the peak anime of Yu-Gi-Oh! Right there. Covers probably the two most major arcs for me, which is, of course, Battle City and then Duelist Kingdom, which both arcs are amazing and fantastic. Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium World volumes 1 through 2 and then volume 4. I have pretty much the rest of the series on order right now. I just don't have the books with me today. I just decided that I had some free time today, and if I don't put this video out, I'm not going to have any time at all. And I know you guys have been anxious to see an actual manga haul. But anyways, Millennium World is the final season of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the anime, and it definitely does a good job of wrapping things up for the characters in the series. I think it also does a few good things and a few bad things. It's nice and short though, so only 7 volumes, so it doesn't really stick around very long. But overall, I would say it's pretty good. Next we have is Dragon Ball Super Volume 4. That was a gift given to me by my girlfriend for Christmas. Glad to have gotten that. You know, I'm not necessarily the biggest Super fan in the world, but it is decent nonetheless. I think as far as nostalgia and just reading it for entertaining purposes, I would say that's probably up your alley if you're a Dragon Ball fan, but overall, Super is kind of a series for me. But overall, I would say, you know, it's worth at least a look if you guys are interested in checking it out. Right next to that, we have the Time I Got Reincarnated as Yamcha manga. That is a one-shot, also pretty good. Nothing really too special there, but enjoyable. Over here we have is the Kurosaki Corpse Delivery Service, volumes 1 through 14. That is all that was released in English by Dark Horse. Unfortunately, the series is canceled. They have no plans of really releasing any more volumes. There is the off chance that they do sell the license to maybe another company and they decide to print, maybe like Vertical or even Viz. But for right now, it's just going to be rocking and chilling at 14, so I have read the rest of the series online, but unfortunately, we may not ever see any more of this. Alright, and right next to that we have is a gift that was given to me by a subscriber here on YouTube, and it's MPD Psycho Volume 7. That's one of the more out-of-print volumes, and it is sealed, so I have read MPD Psycho. I really do enjoy it. I think the psychological aspects of the series are pretty good. Unfortunately, the series is hard to find and also out of print by Dark Horse, and only 11 volumes are out in English, and I believe it's a 20-volume series. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. And Dark Horse really has no plans to continue this series, but they haven't officially announced if it's canceled or not, so for now, it's just going to be rocking here at Volume 7. So, unfortunate, but it is what it is. Also over here we have, oh god man, the lighting is the only thing that really sucks here, and I'm just going to pull this out because I think it's cool. So we have Disappearance Diary by Hideo Asuma. This is a fanfare title that was printed and is unfortunately out of print, but I say if you guys manage to get a hold of this, definitely check it out. It is a really cool story about the mangaka and his life living as a homeless person, so definitely check that out. Next we have is Gantz G Volume 2. This was recently released by Dark Horse. It's still sealed. I have not had the time to read it yet. I read the first volume though. I really enjoyed that a lot. But overall, I would say it definitely is its own unique story. It's its own unique twist on Gantz. It takes elements from the first arcs of Gantz and kind of implements it into this. And the artwork is the same overall. You know, it's not bad. So check it out if you're a fan of Gantz. If not, you might want to sit out on that one. But overall, I thought it was decent. Alright, moving down here, we actually got a few Tokyopop titles, which who would have thought that I would have done that? But anyways, Cyborg 009, Volumes 1 through 8, and then Volume 10. I am missing Volume 9. Only 10 volumes were ever released in English, and unfortunately, I think this is a 17 or 20 volume series. So we're probably never going to get the rest of the series out in English, which is sad. But, you know, you can't always get what you want, I guess. I like the series a lot. I think the first couple of volumes are a little bit slow, and not only that, but it does suffer from age. It's a very old style series, but the mangaka, I keep wanting to say the author, which I guess I could, but it's rightfully so mangaka. The mangaka was an assistant to Osamu Tezuka, and he worked on series like Blackjack and even Phoenix. And he went on to do his own work, most notably Cyborg 009, but also The Skullman and a few other titles as well. I would say this is probably my favorite title from him, and rightfully so. Volume 9 is insanely expensive and difficult to find, so hopefully, if I can, I'll come across it here in the future. But for now, I just have whatever it is that he has here. So, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Next we have is Beck, Mongolian Chop Squad, volumes 1 through 9. You can kind of see that. Like I said, the lighting is really bad in here. And then finally, volume 10 and 12. Missing volume 11, same fate with Cyborg 009. Volume 11 is insanely expensive. Don't understand why. Anyways, Beck, I really do enjoy the anime of Beck, but overall, you know, like I said, I haven't really had the chance to read most of the manga yet. I think I'm on volume 3 right now, and it pretty much follows the anime pretty closely, so I would say that one is definitely one to check out. Alright, next we have is the Kindaichi Case Files, volumes 1 through 10. That is all I currently have of the series. 17 volumes were printed in English by Tokyopop, which means that it is still not completed. But actually, the series is ongoing, which means that you can still actually get the series, but not from Tokyopop. You have to read it online or, you know, get it from Japan. I really like this series. I think the whole episodic format of some series works a little better. This is definitely one of them. It pretty much follows a dude who's a detective who goes around solving cases and whatnot, and it's pretty much his stories of what happens. So I would say definitely check this one out if you guys are into that sort of thing. Definitely a good psychological mystery thriller, and I would say I'd recommend it. It's good. Unfortunately, like I said, it is out of print and sort of expensive to find, but if you can manage to find it for a good price, definitely hop on it. Okay, moving down here, we have is Wolf's Mud, volumes 1 through 8, that is vertical. Volume 1 is out of print, but the rest of the series you can still get relatively cheap. The same guy I guess he was an advisor to Kentaro Miura on Berserk. He was only there for a couple years, though, so he didn't really know Kentaro Miura for very long, and you can definitely actually tell that this series is inspired by Berserk. It has a lot of medieval elements that you would see in that, so it's good, but from what I've read, I'm not really too far. In fact, volume 2. It's enjoyable. I like it a lot. It's nothing special, but it's pretty good. Next to that, we have is 7 Billion Needles, volumes 3. I actually have the rest of the series on the way. The only reason I have volume 3 is because I went to Goodwill, and they had it for $1, and I was like, alright, you know what, for $1, I can see myself getting this. I actually read this series online, and not the best thing ever, but it's okay. It's decent. Alright, so the only other thing that I have on my vertical shelf, or rather my Osamu Tezuka shelf, which most of the vertical titles that I own are from Osamu Tezuka, is Message to Adolf Part 2. Part 1 is again on its way just right now. I don't have the time to just sit around and wait for it to just show up. So for now, Message to Adolf Part 2, I would say rightfully so that Buddha and Message to Adolf are probably the 2 favorite titles of all time from Tezuka. I think Phoenix has the hype with it, but only a few stories that I can handpick from those are like still readable and really enjoyable. I really do love Phoenix, but some of the stories aren't good. Message to Adolf and Buddha is just an upward spiral. It literally is some of the greatest storytelling I've seen in a manga series, and I say that passionately. I love Tezuka, and I love these 2 series. So, Part 1 is on its way. Adolf has one of the peaks, or really one of the interests of having a really interesting historical setting. Has the privilege of taking place during the 30s and the 1940s, and really just getting down with the information of that time period. Really interesting stuff. So that is all I'm going to say for now about Adolf. I'm going to have a review for that here hopefully soon. But yes, good stuff overall. Okay, and moving down here, we have, again, like I said, sorry guys for the lighting, not really the best thing. We have Dr. Stone, volumes 1 through 3. Really was taken by surprise by this series. It really is awesome. Really is some good stuff there. So hopefully we're gonna get some more, and hopefully soon. Viz might catch on and actually print more volumes of this, so that way we're caught up with the Japanese release. But for now, volumes 1 through 3, really awesome. I'm not sure if I showcased this in my last video, but I might as well show you guys this anyways, in case I forgot. Fist of the Blue Sky, volumes 1 through 4. This is the prequel to Fist of the North Star. And overall, I would say this is probably one of the few prequels that really works and kind of helps out the series in terms of like the Hokuto Shiken, I think is how you pronounce it. I could be butchering that, and I'm sorry if I did. But it helps to actually give a better understanding of the whole martial arts technique and the assassination technique. Not only that, but the main character is, his name is Yan Wang, so it's kind of a interesting setting. As opposed to a Japanese protagonist, we now have a Chinese protagonist. So it's different. I would say it's not as good as early Fist of the North Star, but it is better than the second half of Fist of the North Star. If any of you guys know what I'm referring to, then you'll understand. But yeah, pretty good. I like it. Only 4 volumes in English, though, which is unfortunate. Next to that, we have the Master Editions. We have Volume 7 and Volume 8. 8 is the latest volume I acquired, and I think 7 might have been in the last haul video. Like I said, my memory is very poor when it comes to these videos, so I have no idea if it was featured there. But anyways, Volume 8 is the newest and latest thing that I have picked up. Got a really good price on Volume 8. Honestly, cannot wait to get Volume 9. Again, that's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but I'm willing to take the risk and willing to go the distance in order to get it. Alright, so we are still not done. We still have plenty more series to talk about. Oh boy, got way too much manga. Anyways, Golden Komoi Volume 7. This is the most recent volume of Golden Komoi. And overall, I would say right now where the story is at, I love it. Golden Komoi is really good. It really was a slow fizzle for me. The first couple of volumes aren't really that great. It gets really good around Volume 4, so just continue to read after Volume 4. If you like it after that point, definitely continue because it gets only better from there. So that is all I'm going to say about that. Overall, really good stuff. Frankenstein and Shiver, both Junji Ito titles. These are the first 2 that I've decided to go with. Frankenstein I have read, really enjoyed that one. Kind of a nice little short story. And Shiver, it was okay. It wasn't necessarily the best thing I probably could have read from Junji Ito. I plan to get Uzumaki, Tomi, and also Gaio here maybe hopefully soon. So we'll definitely check those out and see how they are. Speaking of more horror manga, we have is Portis. This was, again, another gift given to me by my girlfriend. She went to Goodwill, saw this for like $2, and was like, hey, you like manga? I was like, yeah, and she bought it for me. And it's okay. It's kind of boring. The setting, and I think the concept of the whole virtual reality world kind of thing is kind of cool. I think for me, though, it's a little bit cliche at this point. I've seen so many series take this sort of turn in their story, and it just either doesn't work or does work, so it's okay. It's nothing special, but nothing great either. This one's also out of print, so if you find it for pretty cheap, definitely hop on it. Okay, so we are going to be moving back over here, and again, the lighting, it's terrible. I can't stand it. Freezing, wow. Well, this is like revisiting like your old friend from like 20 years ago. Yeah, I haven't bought any Freezing since, I think, 2 years. Anyways, Freezing Volume 13 all the way to 22. That is all that is currently out of Freezing at the moment. This series is also starting to see some out of print, I guess. I think one of the volumes goes for like $100 or some crazy amount. So that's a little unfortunate. But overall, I would say, again, Freezing is probably one of my favorite, well, I'm actually not going to say favorite, but I would say entertaining series that I own in my collection. It's sort of like one of those mangas that you normally think that you would not get into or enjoy, but this is one of them. So it has that. Otherwise, definitely a pass. Next we have is Saint Seiya Show. This is it's like a spin-off of Saint Seiya, pretty much, just with an all-female cast, where basically all the knights are female. It's different. I haven't really read much of it, so we'll take it how it is. Overall, I guess it's okay. Alright, so I gotta move some stuff out of the way, but Lone Wolf and Cub is blocking the legend that is Astro Boy. We're gonna go ahead and move some of this stuff here really quick. But anyways, Astro Boy volumes 1 through 23, that is the complete series of Astro Boy. And I would say it's interesting. I would say it's a good series. It's not my favorite Tezuka work, but I think he's got some real good charm here. So, all right, and moving on to the final series that I picked up. Probably the highlight of this month is Knights of the Zodiac, or what it's really called, Saint Seiya. I mean, come on, it's not Knights of the Zodiac. It's Saint Seiya. Just call it that. Volumes 1 all the way to 28. That is the complete series of Saint Seiya, and also the end of this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this collection update, as well as manga haul for the month of January. We're going to be doing probably a collection video here pretty soon once I get a few more series titles in. We'll also, try to get a few more things in, so that way I can do a proper manga collection update. But for now, that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.